In this video, we will be learning about a selection method called select by attribute. What select by attribute is that you have a layer and you want to select out features from this layer by using an attribute query to create that selection. So here I have an MXD, and right under my table of contents, I have a marine beaches points layer. So let's take a look at the attribute table so I can take a look at what type of information is within this table and what information do I want to extract using select by attribute. And as you can see, there's a couple of columns. There is, one for beach name, one for town name, one for beach type, county name, etc. So now, if I take a look at this table, I realize I want to pull out information about the beach type, and I want to know where all those public beaches are located. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go to selection and go to select by attribute. So within my select by attributes window, the first thing I am going to do is I am going to choose a layer I want to perform my select by attributes on. And here you can see the marine beaches underscore points is selected, but if you go in the drop-down list, you will see all the different layers that are within my table of contents. So I'm going to go ahead and select marine beaches underscore points. And the second part, you can select your method type. So it will always default it to a create new selection. Now, if you're interested in the other type of methods, there's also add to current selection, remove from current selection, and select from current selection. And they're all here in the drop-down menu. So I'm going to go ahead and leave as it is with the create a new selection. Now in the next window, you can see all the different titles that corresponds to each of the column within the attribute table. So there's beach name, which corresponds to beach name over here, town name, which corresponds to town name in this column, beach type, this column. So here we will focus on beach type because essentially what I want to do is I want to extract all the beach types that are equal to public because I really want to see where all those public beaches are located. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to type in an expression that will allow us to select public beaches. Now, in order to do that, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to double click on beach type because we're interested in that column. And the beach type will show up here on the very bottom of this box. Now, if you're interested in learning more about these attribute expressions, they're called structured query language, or for short, it is SQL, SQL. You can go ahead and select this help button. And this will give you all the different types of syntax you can type in terms of expressions, in terms of what can you select within your attribute table. So I suggest that if you have some time, you go ahead and read a little bit about it so you get a better understanding of what type of expressions you can type in. So the next thing I am going to do to continue on with my expression is I am going to go ahead and press the equal button that goes after beach type. Now this will give me the opportunity to pull out all those that are equal to public. And so the next thing is I'm going to select the beach type, and I am going to select the Get Uniques Values button. And this will pull out all the different values that fall under beach type. And as you can see, there are actually only two. There's public and semi-public. Now, there are times where you will encounter a situation where you'll have a ton of information under unique values. So here you can see that I am only interested in public. So I'm just going to double click on public and this will pop up over here. So essentially this is it. I want a beach type that is equal to public. So I'm going to go ahead and verify the expression just to make sure that it's correct before I go ahead and perform my selection. So the expression was successfully verified. So I'm going to hit OK, and I'm going to hit apply, and I'm going to hit OK. And as you can see, the majority of the beaches are actually public. And if you take a look within the attribute table, there's actually 3,164 out of the 3,951 records that are considered public. And I can go ahead and select Show Selected Records to only focus on those that are selected. So right now I am going to go ahead and clear my selected features by selecting this button. And for the next part of this demo, I want to make sure that I type in 2 expressions so that I can make sure that the selection is based on 2 criteria instead of 1. Because earlier we only typed in 1 expression where we typed in a beach type equals public. So let's go back and take a look at this attribute table. So let's focus in on the beach type and also the point type. Now, say I want to type in 2 expressions, and I want to make sure that within this set, everything will meet 2 criteria. So the first criteria is I want to make sure that the beach type equals public. And the next criteria is I want to make sure that the point type equals sampling point. So I am going to go ahead and open my Select by Attributes window again. So under Selection, Select by Attribute, and as you can see, my previous expression is down below in the expression box. I can go ahead and get rid of that just by highlighting it and select my backspace on my keyboard. So I am going to start fresh, and I am going to reiterate what I am going to do. So here I am going to type in 2 expressions. So beach type equals public, and then point type equals sampling point. And so I am going to go ahead and type in my first expression. So I'm going to highlight beach type equals get unique values, and then double click on public. So this is my first expression. So now I am going to type in my second expression, and in order to string along my first expression and my second expression, I am going to use one of these operators called and or. And these are the 2 most common operators in GIS, and they are used to string along multiple expressions. So it could be more than 2, it could be as many as, for example, 15. So these are the 2 operators I am going to focus on. Now with these operators, they will yield 2 completely different results. With the or operator, the feature is selected when one of the expression is true. And with the and operator, the feature is selected when both expressions are true. So with the or operator, you're definitely going to see a lot more results in terms of selection. So I am going to show examples of both, and I'll start with the word or. So right after the first expression, I'm going to select the or button, and now I'm going to go ahead and type in my second expression. Now here, to remind you, I am going to look at this column, and I am going to extract all the information, all the features that are also sampling points. So I am going to go ahead and search for my point type, and here it is. I'm going to double click. So it reads point type equals, and then I'm going to do the same exact thing I did with the beach type. I'm going to hit get unique values, and you can see there's all the different options, and it's a lot more than the beach type. So I'm going to find only the ones that say sampling point, and with a larger number of options, you can always try and start typing it in within the go to box, and it will start popping up. So I'm going to go ahead and double click on that, and as you can see, I have my second expression typed in. So let me just go ahead and read the entire expression. Beach type equals public, or point type equals sampling point. I'm going to select verify to make sure my expression is correct, and then I'm going to hit OK. So as you can see, I'm going to go ahead and show selected records. I have all the beach types, or I have all the point types that are equal to that specific criteria. So if you look down below, you can see that there are 3,236 records that are either the beach type equals public or point type equals sampling point. So these features are selected when one of the expression is true. And it doesn't necessarily mean that both have to be true. One could be true in order for it to be selected. So I am going to go ahead and go back to my selection, select by attribute window, and I am going to simply change the operator, and I'm going to go ahead and delete the or, and now I am going to replace it with the and. Now I'm going to verify this, and the expression was successfully verified, and I am going to go ahead and hit OK. And as you can see, the number of records that are selected now dwindled to 345. Now, this is the case because in order for the selection to be made, it has to meet both expressions. So now I only have the points that are equals to beach type and that are equals to sampling points.